show. My name is Martha Anabia. This June, we are about to give you some amazing content. It's our 1 year anniversary of the Reflection Show. So we are making sure that the rest of the content coming to you from June to the end of the year, it's something that, of course, we keep reflecting on. We want to look at startups and technology. A lot of us are starting businesses. A lot of us are trying to do something out on our own, but sometimes we don't even know how to go about it because we don't know the how, the when, and the why, and all of that using technology to give us the best of all these outcomes. So I've been with three amazing young people who have been doing amazing in the technology space and also the startup space, who will be giving us the education, the knowledge, and everything that we need to boost our businesses to go high, and of course keep going higher. Let's go for a break. When we are back, I introduce my guest and the discussion continues. Do stay tuned. We are still here. By the way, we are recording at the King David restaurant or King David Sport here in Tamale. There's a restaurant and a sport all together here in Tamale. So anytime you're in Tamale, you want a place to have a party or something, get together with your friends. The best place to be is at the King David Sport on your Burger Road here in Tamale. I'll be speaking with Mr. Francis Say Sad into Eradi. Please, you have to mention the ideas themselves. He's the Chief Technology Officer of Faith Consult, and Mr. Emmanuel Kodoche. He's also the Managing Director for Faith Consult. And Madam Rehena Erade Abdul Kadir, she's the Business Development Manager for Popping Academy. And then later on, they'll be telling us about Faith Consult and Popping Academy. But maybe you can get to know them online. But they are the best people that will be able to give us knowledge and information on startups and technology because we need to raise a lot of entrepreneurs in our society and let more young people get access to knowledge to explore, become business minded people. So let me come to ladies first, pardon me. So thank you very much for joining us on the show. And how is well going? Startups and technology. First of all, I've seen Popping do a lot of pitching, a lot of training for people that want to have startups. What are some of the mistakes that you have realized in your work over the few years that you've been with Popping Academy?
Thank you very much for having me on the show, Mother. So, as you already mentioned, I'm Rehana Abdul
Okay.
and I happen to be the lead for the business development department. Okay. So, over the years, in our hub, usually we are those that interact directly with the startup. And then I would say one of the major issues required for things to realize that startup right, is that they don't have a plan.
Wow.
They want to start a business, but they don't have a business plan. Okay. So you can imagine if you want to build a house and you don't have a house, a plan for the house, about business. And a lot of them don't even know they are supposed to do something like that. Okay. So these are some of the things that they have that to support this entrepreneurs. And then you realize that if you don't even have a business plan, and then you happen to begin your startup, or you happen to start whatever you're doing, and then you need funding from investors, the first thing you want to do
It's your business
is your
plan.
business plan, because your business plan tells you what you are trying to do, how you attempt to get your revenue, your HR plan, and all these things. So another thing we also realize is that usually the startups, some of them or most of them, they are in a rush to make
Okay.
profits.
Okay.
And then
Hey,
as a
but
result,
who have profits I'm starting, but I shouldn't be in a rush to make profit.
yes. So as a result, they don't really focus on coming up with products that are customer centered. They just want to make money. So
Okay.
they feel like, okay, this is a good idea, or this is something that the people will go in for. But then before you come out with a product, you're supposed to make sure that the people for whom you are making this product are actually going to pay for it.
Wow.
And it's actually solving their problem. So that's where product market fit comes in. So usually these startups, as I said earlier, they don't have a plan as to how to go about their business. And then another thing is they don't consider the product market.
Okay. Let me come to you, Francis. Startups, you are more into technology. How can that play a major role in starting up a business? Because if I have a plan and all of that, how can technology be a major role? And also in your work that you do, what can you share with us about the things you have seen, you've encountered, that people making mistakes while starting businesses?
In the 21st century, technology has become a integral part of everything.
Okay.
Especially ICTs. Okay. And so it's more or less impossible to start a business these days without some aspect of ICT. Automatically, everybody involves ICT in their businesses. But I think the next step would be to deliberately use the technologies to enhance the business that you're doing. One aspect is that you need to look at the business plan you have. As you said, you have to have a plan first. And you take a look at the plan and see what things you are doing that could be done more efficiently using technology. What aspects of your business could be done more effectively? What could be changed due to technology? And once you are able to figure this out, then you can more or less plug in that technology into your product. It's not always that simple. It depends on what the technology is. If it's something like, maybe let me mention the one thing that every single business should have, and that is social media. If you are doing a business, then definitely there are customers involved and you need to reach them. And these days, everybody is online. And so if you are starting a business and you don't have a social media page, then already I feel you have failed because you are attempting to reach people who most likely would be online. This is not a blanket statement. It doesn't apply to everyone because there are businesses that may be attempting to reach rural areas that don't use internet. But for the most part, for most urban businesses, I would say social media is your very first step.
So let me come to you in that regard. What can technology majorly play, or what role can it play in helping startups?
So, basically, they've said most of the things. But what you can also do is that you also have to leverage on some of the tools, like you are planning. It takes time to plan. And now you cannot just plan in the traditional way whereby you have to write all your things on the paper. We have a lot of tools like the Microsoft Suite and all that. We have some kind of agile app that you can use to track your daily progress. So these are some of the things when you are planning, you can also try to incorporate in your planning as well in terms of technology. These are some of the things that we're also looking at, how to help startup and business people to also look into all these kind of things. Yeah.
So how would you help them? Are you going to talk to them and say, hey, Martha, you have a business, come, I want to help you? Or what are some of the opportunities you think of? Because first of all, I think they need to understand the importance of what they really have or what they can get access to. Because, for example, if you come and tell me that, oh, Martha, you're beginning this business, so I'm an IT person, let me help you. I may not really know, I feel like because you want me to pay you for your services. But what is the major importance of me as a business person or even as a startup taking advantage of ICT? When I was beginning my organizations, one thing I kept hearing was a website. But I think that, like you are mentioning, I think social media page is even more important now than even having a website, because I'll easily go to your Facebook page or Instagram page and go to your website. So in that regard, what can you tell me starting a business that it's not just because they want me to pay you for your services, but how can IT play a major role in my business?
So you see, before I come, I need to give facts and evidence. So I'll pick the data. Maybe let's say I can pick a previous company that collapsed. And I'll tell you, due to certain things like these are some of the things that they didn't do well. That made the company to fail. Example, like Francis said, you don't have social media. In your social media, some people comment, they ask questions, nobody's responding to it. So I'm trying to tell you that. So you need somebody that can manage your page. You need somebody that can respond to calls, urgent calls, because I want to reach out to you. I'm not going to reach out to you. I send emails, I send DMs, nobody responding. It means your business, you're not serious. These are some of the tools I'm talking about. So when I come with evidence and facts, with data. And so I can say maybe, so and so company didn't do this, and if you do that, this is what you've done, and it will project very well to you. Yeah.
So it means that the first thing any kind of business, whether it's a small business, it's a big business, the first thing one needs to have is what? A social media account. Right?
Well, yes. As I said, it's not a blanket thing for every single business, because I mean, maybe Hopping can tell us the kind of businesses that come to them, but definitely there are some businesses that are not really targeted at people who will be on social media, and so definitely these ones will model differently. For example, we can even go beyond that to businesses that need to target certain individuals. And sometimes we may have to use specialized applications for this. That is why these days people have their own Android applications or iOS applications for their companies, because you want to reach your customers directly. You don't want to go through just a social media page, although you may still have it, but reaching them directly will be more important. For example, recently we are working with a company that is a health-related company that wants to reach out to the people with an app. That way, they are able to order services directly from the app, and have a specialized place where they go to and where they can make payment and where they can do all these things. So these are the various things that technology can help. Unfortunately, it's difficult to tell to give every business a way technology can help you without looking into your business. So one of the first things we will do, as you said, is to look at your business plan. And then from there, we can figure out, okay, this is what can be done to make your business a bit better. This is how it will improve it. And then from there, we can move on. And it's not really about profit per se. One of the things she mentioned at the beginning is that a lot of businesses are too much in a hurry. Startups are too much in a hurry to make profits. I mean, the profits can take years to come. And so it's not, when we want to work with you, it's not really about making money per se or you paying us per se. But sometimes even having a collaboration which is better than just taking money from you. And we know very well that startups don't have money. I mean, a lot of them don't yet have money, or they are yet to get investments, and so they can't pay for certain services. And so all these factors come in to determine what kind of technology you can use, and then how it can help your business.
Okay, let me come back to Hopping. You have been directly involved, meeting people, having trainings and sessions for them. Take us through all that and how some of the things you have been observing, the mistakes and all of that, how someone watching can learn from. And whether there are also other categories of business, like he mentioned, maybe there's a kind of business that wants this kind of thing or that.
Yes, so I'm going to take from where you stop. So we have this acceleration program in partnership with MEST. So usually MEST is looking out for tech-inclined startups. But then when they came to Tamale, they realized that within our ecosystem, it wasn't so much common.
Wow.
But then they didn't stop, you understand? So we reached out to these startups after the use assessment and everything. And then what we asked them to do was that they were supposed to identify a tech component they could add up to their businesses. Yes, so let's say a logistics company organization, then they came up with, building a mobile app to be able to, interact directly, as he said, to their startups and to their customers. We had a restaurant as well. So you understand. So you realize that we are in a tech era now. Irrespective of the business you are into or the startup you are into, majority or most of these startups, they are still tech components they could add up. You might not have begun with it in the beginning, but then as you move on, you can. So, and then you realize that you might be just leave them there. So we gave them this business development training and consultation, and then we helped them identify these tech components they could use. And then afterwards, Nest helped them with the front end. So these are some of the things Hopping does. So we don't just take you through the training. We connect you to investors as well. So we take you through, understanding those important and necessary documentations we should have as a business. That's one. And then, we are also into tech in a way. Because recently we just finished a cohort of mobile app with Flutter development. And then all teams, they came up with mobile applications within Tamale. We have one that's into sourcing accommodation, and then another one into transportation, and then the last one is also booking of hotel and the guest house. You understand? So these are some of the things we do. Although we are taking them through business development, coaching and mentoring and all that, we still encourage them to add up a tech component, because nowadays that's what's making startups
Yeah.
Through tech, that's when maybe someone outside Ghana will be able to
Get
see
to
what
know
you are
about
doing,
you.
and then they invest in you. They feel like you have a viable business model. You understand? So these are some of the things we do. We take trainees or startups through incubation. So for the incubatees, these are people who usually have the idea, but then they don't have an actual product, or they're at the beginning stage, like they're just starting. So as I said, with those we just finished with, this was in partnership with Ghana Tech Lab. So initially it was there was a call for application to undergo a 6 weeks intensive training and the mobile app and Flutter. So these trainees completed the 6 weeks, and then afterwards there was another one for incubation.
Okay.
So these trainees, those who were interested, we grouped them, and then they had to come up with a social problem they could solve using the technology or the knowledge they learned from the mobile app training. And then after the 10 weeks, we had Acom available. There is a mobile app that's into social accommodation within Tamale.
Okay.
Whether you are a student or a resident, we have a hotel and guest house makers, we have Ampana, and these are things that's within Tamale. So you realize that it's not as if we can't do it. Sometimes we just have to go with their minds.
And listening to you, I think that we don't have. I hear you mention you train them, you give them knowledge. It's like it's something we don't know. So I just come out from school, and most of these things begin because I've not gotten a job. So what can I really do? It's not like something that they have really planned that even as they are in school they want to do and all of that. I want us to go for a break, and when we come back, we want to look at what at all will make me want to start, like, have a startup. So do I have a startup because I don't have a job, or because anything? Why do you want to have a business? Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Books by Pastor A.L. Fant. They are inspired by the Holy Spirit, simple to comprehend, relevant in application, and so lovely to read. Grab copies like Dynamics of Kingdom Influence, Dynamics of Ministry, Mark is King for Church Workers, Money Matters, and she calls herself a woman. This marriage must work. No more curses. Loaded mouth. Secrets of Kingdom Dominion. The exploits of service. Things fall apart. Church without bleeding pulpit. Singles mingle, and many more.
Welcome back from the break. We are still looking at startups and technology, at young people. How can we do something different from the kind of entrepreneurs we met while growing up? And we believe that technology is one major tool that can help us. Before we continue, I want to say a very big thank you to Repairs Salon for my hair, to Glam Beauty for my makeup, and Esther Clothing for my wonderful dress. Get their contact details on the screen and reach out to them for amazing services. Now, let me come back to us. Let me come back to you. Why, for example, you've met a lot of people who are beginning businesses. What are some of the reasons why they give that they are starting business? Is it because they don't have a job, or they just have to start a business?
So most of them, they usually identify a problem that needs to be attended to.
Okay.
And then the other has to do with people not having jobs.
Okay.
So I just graduated. I don't have any job. They're like, okay, let me get myself busy. Then you try identifying a problem that you can solve. So usually those are the two reasons.
And out of those two reasons, I think I saw some data out there about, I think the first 2 years of businesses, a huge number fail in the first 2 years and all of that. Do you think that is the reason why? Because I am into a non-profit organization. Before I started, I saw people doing that, and I also started. Later on, they are nowhere to be found. When I asked them, they're like, oh, they went to school, some even got a job. So you think that when they get a job that they are looking for, then they leave the startup, then they go to do that job. Do you think that is the one reason when it comes to finance, like contributing to businesses failing the first 1 to 2 years?
I think it could be one of the factors, although maybe not the major factor.
Entirely, yeah.
Yes, because if the business is working, then most likely you would not leave it for a job. So most likely it means that there is something wrong somewhere, which was wrong from the beginning. And that is why a job will entice you away from the business you are doing. Because, I mean, some of us have jobs, but yet we started businesses. So we are going in the opposite direction, rather. And I think, so sometimes I think it's the way the business was structured at the beginning. We have problems, especially in a third world country, especially a place like here. There are a lot of issues we have, which can easily be solved with businesses. And so that is a plus. But if you do not, if your main aim is to make money and you do not factor in the right solutions to those problems, then at some point you will fail. Because at the beginning it may look like it's working, but because your aim was just to make money, but not really to fix the problem, then it may fail. Like we said at the beginning, we are too much in a hurry to make money. So after 2 years, if there's no profit, we feel that the business is not working. But yet we fail to see that the business is solving the problems and eventually it would work. Besides, as she said, if you have a financial plan, you would understand that profit will come.
Okay.
But so I think these are the little things that some of the businesses don't look at, and sometimes that is why they fail at the
We keep mentioning planning. Can you take us through some of the basic things that a business plan should entail? So I want to have a business. Are you just doing it? Okay, so this is the name of the business, that kind of thing, and you are good to go. Are there some ingredients that a good business plan should contain that would help? Because I believe if you have a good business plan, you're able to follow it here and there. So are there some things that can be missing in the business plan that would make the business itself to fail?
Oh, this question, I think Rihanna will be the best person to answer it. Since she's in there, but I think I can contribute.
Yeah.
I think first of all, like she said, people run into startup because they don't have job. They don't even identify a problem. So and they need money too as well. So you start and you don't generate any income. You don't have any source of income because you are trying to use your own money, and the money is not there. You see, and the profit is not coming. You quickly run away. One, identify the problem. The problem. Who are your targeted audience? You can identify a startup like you want to go into tech, and you are looking at the elderly people. Even sometimes my mother have to call you to come and even check the Facebook or WhatsApp. So she's not my targeted audience.
Yeah.
You understand? Do some of the things. Two, maybe if it's a product, go back to your audience as well. Where are you going to? Are you looking at the secondary, the tertiary institution? Are you looking at all these kind of things? And you should also have a documentation, like you said. First, you should register your business. If you come to me that you want a sponsorship, first I'll ask you that what shows that your business is being registered. These are some of the things, some of the few mistakes people do that they end up have to go back to the root cause and all those kind of things.
Back to square one. So let me come back to you. With a business plan, what do I need? Is it like a structure? So I need a name of the business, I need an executive summary, I need what should it be put together before?
So Martha, before I even go into that, let me touch on reasons why the businesses, most of the startups fail within the first 2 years.
Okay.
So what we usually tell our startups or the encounter we have with them, we make them understand that being an entrepreneur is not easy. And then for most businesses, within the first 2 years, you are likely not to even break even. So if you have that at the back of your mind, you realize, you know that, okay, so this is the first 2 years and I'm still not breaking even. Or maybe by the close of that second year, you are now breaking even. So you know you are even making progress. But if you don't have it at the back of your mind, that you don't break even that easily, you realize that within the first 2 years, you lose. Yes, and then now back to the business plan. So usually, the major or the important things that should be in a business plan, it should contain what your product is. how you intend to generate revenue, and then you should have a revenue projection. So we are in 2022. By 2025, I intend to make this amount.
Okay.
Get this number of customers. You should have a marketing plan as well. You understand? So this year, I'll be spending this amount on this type of advertisement from this first quarter. Let's say around Christmas, those times is during the festive seasons. You have to increase your marketing skills. You understand? So these are some of the major things you should have in a business plan. So usually with our startups, we don't give them a business plan, but then we help them come up with a business model canvas. Which also
so a business plan is different from a business model canvas.
So a business model canvas, whatever it contains, is also in a business plan, but then it's like a summary of your business plan.
Okay.
So we have your value proposition. That's what you are bringing on board. How you intend to generate revenue, your cost structure. And when we talk of your cost structure, it's not the variable cost, the fixed ones. So let's say I'm into sobolo making. The money I used to buy the pots and then the gold pots, those are my fixed costs, because in the next 5 years I'll be buying a gold pot. You understand? So those things, and they are all found in a business plan. At their level, taking them through, because it has an executive summary and all those things. It's too much.
Too much in the mind. Yeah.
So that's why we have incubation programs and acceleration. So the acceleration is usually for those who have been in existence for at least 5 years. So they are in the system, they've been in the system for a while. So for those ones, we take them to get those standard documentations. But then for just the incubatees, those just beginning, we usually take them, we just make them have a business model canvas.
Do you think that lack of available, knowledgeable resources is one of the reasons why businesses fail?
Well,
so I have a business plan. I don't know Hopping Academy. I don't know Faith Consoles. I don't know these organizations that can help me. So I feel that, okay, I've seen Mr. A doing this. Let me go in that model.
Sure.
And there was this trend I was having some conversation with some friends, and this is the trend of how people start their businesses. So I see that Francis is into dressmaking. Charlie, it's booming. The next time, I don't have a job, the way Francis is making money, let me go in there. I also start doing what Francis is doing. Do you think that is one thing? And secondly, some too are not consistent. So I usually say this jokingly. Yes, so they follow the trend. So we are in the mango season, they are selling mangoes. They are in the watermelon season, they are selling watermelon. We move to granuts, they are selling granuts. It's like every season that comes, they have something that they sell. So do you think that is one thing that people don't break even because they are not consistent in the things that they do?
Yes, consistency is one. And then you spoke about one earlier.
Being able to get the resources that they need for, like the knowledge. Yeah.
Yes. So, if you even try to have a startup, you're supposed to read. You're supposed to research. So even in identifying your clients or your customers, you're supposed to research. You understand? You're supposed to, based on secondary data, that's what you can find online, or maybe research people have already done, and then you have to interact one-on-one. We call it empathy. You try to be in your customer's shoes, so you are supposed to research. You understand? So these are some of the things you have to do. And then you talk of people not being consistent. So as startup, one of the major things that runs someone as a startup is that they are being innovative. And then being innovative is different from not being consistent.
Okay.
So let's say I sell the watermelon.
So being innovative is different from not being consistent.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you are being innovative, it means, so let's take geisha for instance. Right now,
you're advertising them. Anyway, go ahead.
It's an example. That's an example.
That's what Geisha is doing.
Go ahead.
It's an example that we all understand.
Geisha, you can't sponsor a reflection show. You are mentioning your name on the show.
You understand that the cover of geisha, or what covers the soap, is not what we had like 10 years ago. That's innovation. It's just little things you do.
And they add, now they have a new
yes. So they bring out more flavors. They change the colors.
Please use cowbell as an example. They are one of my partners. Don't use anything else. So cowbell,
initially we had just
the milk
powder, but now we have the strawberry.
Cowbell. Okay, cowbell gold is off the market now. We have cowbell muka. Cowbell, all the cowbell.
So these are some. So let's say I'm into making watermelon, as you said, and then now it's mango season. So maybe what I can do is I can have a flavor of watermelon with mango. You have to look out for something that isn't common or something that's not even around. You understand? And then you add it.
Okay.
Yes. So usually that's what we tell them. As a business or as a startup, you have to be innovative. And that's how come iPhone is still there. Number one.
iPhone is so come as possible. Oh, but I get what you are saying. And you see, I keep saying
It's
that
like they follow the trend.
iPhone has a way, and sometimes when you even check what is even added, it's not even. But it's the prestige of having an iPhone 12 and iPhone 13, that kind of thing. And I think that it's. And you see, one thing that do you think that knowledge acquired 5 years ago might not be the knowledge I might need today. So my father has a business. He read a book. There are many books on businesses, so that I can read. I can pick up and read. Donald Trump has a lot of books on businesses 5, 10 years, 15 years ago. Do you think that that book might be necessary for me starting a business now in 2022?
Well, partially, yes. There are some aspects of business that doesn't change. It's always the same. And so some of the content is relevant, always relevant. But you'll have to study and you'll have to read through and check. One of the things you just mentioned is innovation. And one of the things we try to make younger people understand is that the West, and that is one thing Faith Consult thinks about all the time. The West is different from Africa.
Okay.
And so the things we develop are going to be different.
Okay.
So if you rely on what they are doing as innovation for what we need, it may not work.
Okay, so you have to take into consideration the environment that you are living
our
in.
local environment. In fact, for example, in Tamale, you have to come down to Tamale. What do we need in Tamale? How can even if you are talking about a mobile app, if you are developing a mobile app for Tamale, it must be different than what you saw for the US.
Yeah.
Because the understanding of technology is
it's
different.
Very different.
The way we think is different. Even icons, the way we look at icons are different. All these things must be considered. And so some of this information may be relevant, but others change. I also lecture computer science in UDS. And just a few weeks ago, I was going through a slide with them, and suddenly I realized that something I had written just a few days ago was already wrong. So when it comes to technology in particular, in fact, something from yesterday may not be the same as today. And so maybe in other business areas, things may be the same. But as for technology, every single day you have to check what is new because it keeps changing, especially when you come into computing. Even the applications we use every single day, programming languages we use, they keep changing. And so if you're not abreast of what is happening, you will be lost. And so as much as you will study the old stuff, I would say always be abreast of what is happening. Otherwise, your business may still fail.
So let me come back to you. Just take us through randomly some of the opportunities of technology. So let's say social media. So what are the places we can take advantage of? We have websites and even other apps that we might not know. Then maybe someone watching us will be able to pick up from the different opportunities and be contacting you how you can also help them develop from the opportunities that you have and what Faith Consults have available for clients.
So if I got that question, you want me to talk about some of the tools?
Yeah, the tools. Yeah, social media tools.
Yeah, so like we all know Facebook is there, but even the Facebook, you have to dig deeper. It's not just about creating the page. You know, there are some portions
to boost the ads.
Yes, but people don't know. Somebody is there.
These days they charge a bit too much.
Yes, now because everybody's now leveraging on Facebook, Instagram, and all that. But aside that, you also have to look at, like Master said, you have to look at your terrain. What can I do? Like here, like in Tamale, like this, you cannot go without the traditional way, like the radio stations and the TV stations as well. Sometimes you look at your environment. You have your tool, your app. Nobody knows. Like I just got to realize that we have the hotel app and all that. I never knew.
Yeah.
So we have to also look at the traditional without the radio station and sell your product. The marketing strategies. You don't just put anything online. You are just there. You also have to seek.
And also, you said I was that's a long time I have seen, but listening to I think it's also part information vans. When we're kept to see information vans roaming the whole community and it's announced and this is about to happen. And then I think these days they are still there.
They're in the rock
those
area.
who sell Aquabam. Let's go for a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back from the break. We are still looking at startups and technology, how young people can leverage on these. However, we are still considering the people in the rural communities and also the aged who may not be able to access some of these technology that we are mentioning. So later on, we'll be looking at how we can reach out to them. And before we went on the break, we mentioned these information vans and the pickups and even those Ford cars or buses that goes to the community. They even now they still sell these CDs, movies. They still go like to the rural community. They sell like most of them. So these are also some of the ways where you can reach out to your target audience. So like we have all mentioned, the target audience is most important. So don't just say that because we are talking about technology, start putting your movies on YouTube and say that your mother in the village should go and download it on YouTube. Nobody will buy your movies. But you should be able to identify that in as much as your movie will be on YouTube, you can also have it on CD to make it available to the people that can really, really purchase them. Yeah, so Faith Consult, just take us through what Faith Consult is, what you are doing and what you've done over these years. Then some of the services available and maybe your success stories that can inspire someone to want to come to Faith Consult and all that.
Yeah, okay, so Faith Consult, well, basically we are software developers. There are two major aspects that we do. One is to develop custom software by ourselves because we've been talking about, we have also identified certain needs that we have and in Ghana as a whole, and we've decided to tackle some of these needs. And well, for the more ambitious startup and people who may be like us, it's not just about, you can decide not to just target only Tamale, but you can target the whole country or the whole continent even. And so that is what we are doing. So we have developed a couple of apps. One is called Separim, which is actually an ebook reader.
Okay.
Primarily for Ghanaian authors.
Okay.
Only for Ghanaian authors. And I think one of the things that probably we didn't mention is that for most businesses, before you do a startup, you need to do a market survey. And during our market survey, we found out that a lot of Ghanaians would want to read ebooks from Ghanaian authors, but they normally find it difficult to find where those books are. Because unless you know the author or the name of the book, if you go to Amazon, you would not find a section for Ghanaian books. And so this is a problem for a lot of people. And so that's one of the things we are tackling. We have a number of authors on already, and we are talking with a number of the...
I should have my book on soon as well.
Yes, we talked about it some time ago. So we are talking with a number of the larger authors, and that takes time because you know they are big people. But eventually we want to get their books on, which should attract more people as well. The other thing we are doing is working on a music app. I can't go into details. Okay, that's okay. That will be given a little bit of too much information away.
Maybe I thought people could just get to know your services.
This is one aspect of it, which is kind of a proprietary stuff.
They can get to you. Then the music. For
the music, we are working with people from Gamru. Those are the people concerned with the music rights in Ghana,
royalties and etc.
So once that is done, we will talk about it more. But the other side of what we do, apart from our own stuff, is to give services to people. And for this there is no limit. It's basically, what do you want? And then we will tell you how we can solve the problem.
I know of your data collection. So if an organization wants to have data collection for any kind of survey, even a business, right?
Yes, for any
They are
survey.
available to do that as
So
well.
for all the surveys in rural areas and wherever we provide data collection services. And also, if you are doing something like an event, we can help you with collecting data for the people coming for your event, either online or also offline with tablets. And then, of course, we go into the data analysis and cleaning and all that.
So anything data, anything IT,
yeah, basically
IT,
anything
fits,
IT.
fits.
And then one of the things we do is we create customized software for companies or organizations. And the reason is, as we were saying, we need to innovate. We need to create things that are suited for the market. And how this began is that we came across a lot of organizations which wanted to use software, but they realized that the software they found online either was not too suitable, there was always something wrong somewhere. And so we work with them and we create something that suits what they are trying to do or what they want. Even with the data collection software, there was a point where we actually created our own software because a lot of the organization had problems with the current software that existed. It had too many things and so much confusion, and we had to strip it down and all that. So basically, it is looking at the needs that you have and then creating, and then also the social media. As he said, sometimes it's difficult to run your own social media pages. People attempt it, and then when you go to most startups, their social media pages, you realize that 2017 was the last time they posted something because it's difficult to do it yourself. And so we give the option of running your social media platforms for you so that you don't have to think of that aspect. We handle it for you. And maybe we contact you.
You also
for
develop
information.
websites as well.
Yes, we do. But as you mentioned, these days websites are a little bit less important than the social media pages. So although we do, normally we just develop the website and then we concentrate more on the social media pages.
MD. He's a big man. Anything to add up?
No, I think he has said it all, but what he didn't add is that, like, we are now in the data era.
Okay.
So maybe you have your business and you want us to help make insights and generate a lot of information from the data, analyze and visualize the data for you as well. We do all these kind of things. And we as well train organizations to as well. If you want us to come and have a session and train you, because we are both into the academics and all that. So we do all this kind of research. So he has said everything. But anything tech, just reach out to me.
Anything tech. If I want to come and do technology so that I can see where my husband is at what time, you can do that one.
That's not possible.
If only you can pay.
He said easy.
Just combine some drones and some camera.
Then you know where
the drone will keep following him everywhere.
But I think also maybe we talked about how to reach out to the rural
community.
So currently Francis even ran the project, and I think the whole world was one of the tech people.
Nice.
He's actually doing something that is also in line with that, where you can't reach them. Now I can also talk about that one as well. They are doing that too.
When they get to then they can talk about it. We'll bring them back.
Just reach out to us and you can take it out.
The day they can talk about it, we'll bring them back. So do you have a social media handle? How can people get to you and all of that?
Yes, so faithitconsult.com is the website.
Okay.
And for all social media pages, Faith IT Consult at Faith IT Consult.
It's easier. Some people would have different name for Facebook, different name for Instagram, and it's really very confusing to even access them.
Sometimes it's not their fault. Well, again, these are the services. If you come to us, we'll make sure we fix that problem for you.
Hopping. How do we hop in Academy?
So usually our training programs usually call for applicants on our social media handles and communities as well. So we are hopping on all social media handles on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter.
And your website, Twitter. And you have a website as well.
Yes, www.hoppingacademy.org.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So before we wrap up, I just want to come back to tidbits. All of us should give our viewers tidbits on what they should take home. What are some of the things they have to avoid? Thinking about the business, starting it, the environment, everything that we have said today. What are some of the tidbits we can easily say randomly to anyone watching us on startups and all of that? Let me start from you.
Okay. I think what they should know is that starting up a business is not easy. entrepreneurship is not easy.
You cry. There are days you cry.
It's not easy. They should try as much as possible to reach out to the top people, have one-on-one conversation.
Reach out to
The top people, those that are already there.
Yes.
Try to understand.
I think we don't have role models.
How you got there, and they should limit listening to a lot of motivational speakers online as well.
And
What I would say on the internet will be different from what I would tell you if I'm a role model. You understand? Exactly. Like currently, what is happening in tech, that people use their money to do a lot of investment and all that. If they use their fees to do investment.
So are you saying what? Please, don't let me attack you right now. Are you saying that I'm doing the motivational speakers? We are those content
No.
So that's what behind the scenes.
No, what I'm trying to say is that sometimes the things we say
You
out,
overlisten
exactly,
to
you
motivational
understand.
speakers.
And we rightly said, the first years will not be that easy. So I'll say something, but I went through a lot of things before I got there. Maybe 10 years. Pet IT has been in the system for a
Someone
long
said
time.
he used 50% to start his
So
business.
just reach out to the person just one-on-one. You can send email. Make sure that the email or the message is just on point. Don't come to somebody and just say hello. The person will not respond. You're still waiting for the person to respond to hello before.
You see that thing you have said there. That thing is really so annoying.
Just go straight to the point.
Yeah.
Just introduce yourself. Can you help and all that? The person will respond and they're good to go. These are some of the things they should.
Yes, I think how to approach mentors. Me, I think it's something I've said all the time. People just take your number and you're like, hello, and you don't reply and say hi, how are you? You know, like, I want you to help me. Like me, if I need something, oh, hello, my name is Matana. I'd be like, I need ABC. What time is your phone?
Exactly.
Even if you are busy, right, to attract you to you.
Exactly.
When I hello, how are you? Hi, is work.
The most annoying
Hi,
thing, they'll send like good morning, they'll do a GM. It's official. We have official communication.
Do you know the one that gets me angry?
I understand.
K, that's okay. They just reply
So I think
K.
these are some of the things they.
So I think that
I'll ignore you.
communication is true. I think that as a startup, to be able to attract role models or mentors, it's how you communicate.
Exactly.
Because don't communicate. And he's a dear. I'm not your dear.
You just see the person like you have that kind of thing.
Yes.
No, you don't know me. I don't know
It's
you.
a professional communication.
Exactly.
Don't tell me that. Good morning, dear. I'm not your dear. Just go. Good morning, Martha. I need ABC from you because when you begin to go in that regard, it turns off the people off, and they are able to even make time for you.
Yeah.
So no point to say dear to your role models. Imagine you are talking to an investor. Now say dear, Charlie, it will turn him off. Francis.
I would say learn. And when you are done learning, learn again. For in this era, we don't have an excuse. The internet is available, information is available. The same information that Elon Musk and Bill Gates and whoever used to get to the point they are, is all available online somewhere. And so you have to learn and you have to study. And unfortunately, unlike the West, although I've mentioned them, you also have to study our context and our local environment and then see how you innovate. And I think basically, if you're able to do that, learn and use the information you get to innovate, I think things will go well. And of course, as you are innovating, think more of the innovating than the profit. I'm not saying don't think about the profit. You started the business because of profit, but think more of your innovation and the profit will come.
Yeah.
So I would say that as an entrepreneur or startup, don't fall in love with your product or service because it's not meant for you.
Okay.
Yes.
That is a hard one. Don't fall in love with your product or service.
So, we have people coming up with services or products. They believe it's supposed to work, but then it doesn't fit the audience.
Yeah.
So you should make sure that your product or service is customer centered.
Like you talk about the survey, so the survey is very important.
And then irrespective of the level of your business or how long you've been in business, you always have to research. You always have to find out things about your customers because day in, day out, the trend changes. Whatever they want, it either increases or goes up. Like, the trend changes.
It's like I used to enjoy cowbell choco. Now I enjoy the strawberry. So being innovative. So at the end of the day, if a different company had produced something strawberry, I would have left cowbell for a long time.
So you don't fall in love with your product, maybe customer centered.
So Hopping Academy, take us through what you do, how people can get in touch with you and all of that. I
So-
think you mentioned that, but just maybe highlight what and what.
Yeah, so Hopping Academy, basically what we do is that we take young people, the underlying word is young people, that's our target. So we train young people in the space of entrepreneurship and a bit of tech as well. And then we help them, either accelerate or come up with actual businesses or products. So you can reach us on Hopping Academy on Instagram, Twitter, as I said. And then
Twitter.
And then in Tamale, we are located, so we share the same wall with Smart Facility
Okay.
along the Agric traffic way.
So I think all of them are on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, I think,
Yes.
and then on Twitter. So get in touch with them, and any kind of service, any kind of knowledge or resource that you need, when you get in touch with them, they'll be able to help you become the best and come out from your comfort zone, because like you're always comfortable however you are and all of that. I want to say a very big thank you to Perfect Beauty Salon for my hair, and also to Glam for my makeup, and to Esther Clothing for my dress. You can get their contact details on the screen. We're also calling on sponsors and partners for the Reflection Show. About sponsor, come and sponsor us. We need sponsors to reach out to as many young people as possible, because we have great and wonderful content for you. I have been speaking with Mr. Francis and Mr. Emmanuel from Faith Consult, and Rehena Erade from Hopping Academy. They've been giving us nothing but great education and information. And I believe that you at home have learned something great and have learned something amazing. You can call us on 05495788512. Give us an email at marthainspiredf@gmail.com. And Martha Inspired Foundation on Facebook as well. Get in touch with us for any kind of information, inquiry, sponsorship, partnership for any of our projects or any of our projects, Martha Inspired Foundation or the Reflections TV show, and we'll give you nothing but the best. Thank you very much. Today we are at King David Spot. You see, it's a big place. We have the spot, we have the restaurants, we have the lounge. So anytime you are in Tamale, you want a place to relax, just come to King David. It's on the Borga Road, and get a glass of cocktail, a glass of juice, food, anything, and then have a good and great relaxation. My name is Martha Anabila. It's been amazing always reaching the Reflection Show. See you next week. Hello and welcome to another wonderful episode of Thoughts from Martha Inspires. I am Martha Anabila. Today I want to ask you a personal question. Who do you look up to? Who is your role model or who is your mentor? In your career, in your journey to life, who do you look up to? Do you want to be a pastor? Who is your spiritual father? You want to be a footballer? Whom are you looking up to? A lot of us young people growing up think that we don't need anyone. It's not true. You need people that have been at the place that you want to go, because they can make the journey shorter. If it took them 10 years to get to where they are now, it can take you 5 years or even less to even pass where they are now. A lot of us keep rubbing shoulders with our mentors because we feel that our talent is a bit bigger than them and we have a bigger platform now, so we want the shortcut way to go. No. If you want to go through the journey in life, you need somebody who have walked that journey. Even though you know them, but can tell you that there are potholes here and there, so you need to be careful. Today, I want to encourage you. Look for a mentor. Look for a role model. Look for somebody that has gone where you are going. Somebody that can help you, to advise you, to tell you the hard truth, to correct you. A lot of us are with so much pride. We are not able to be corrected. And we keep offenses with people, and every time want to cut people off. Yes, sometimes you have to, but sometimes be careful of the people that you are cutting off.
who do you look up to? Who is your mentor? Who is your role model? A lot of us are even mistaken. We see somebody on TV, Jay-Z, Beyonce, and co. I'm not saying that they can't be people you model after, but within Ghana, within your country, is there somebody that can be your mentor? You can pick a phone and call them and say, I am doing this, I am confused. How can you help me? Who is your role model? Who is your mentor? Today, if you don't have one, get one. Today, if you have one, but your relationship with them is not the way it's supposed to be, go back and mend that relationship. Some mentors might not be perfect in the face of humans, but they'll be perfect to help you align your purpose. Sometimes we are quick to judge our mentors based on what we hear about them, but their personal life do not concern you. What concerns you is that they have the right knowledge, information, skill, and wisdom to direct you to the path where you want to go. If you are whatever that you want to do, who is teaching you to go? Who are you studying under? Whom are you submitting under to help you to learn and become better? In short, look out for somebody you can learn from. It can even be your colleague who is doing better than you. To learn from them. Be careful how you talk to mentors and role models anyhow, because without mentors and without role models, you cannot really succeed effectively and efficiently. Thank you for watching today's episode on Thoughts from Martha Inspires. I am Martha Anabila. See you next time.